Welcome back, everybody. Joining me tonight is the Academy Award winner, best known for Roger and Me, Bowling for Columbine, and Fahrenheit 9/11. His new film, which was released today, is called Planet of the Humans. Please welcome back to A Late Show, Michael Moore. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Stephen.
Let me ask you, as a native Michigander, a question about the president's tweets the last few days. The president tweeted that it's time to liberate Michigan. What do you mean? What do you think he means by that? And do you feel liberated?
We've been planning our liberation for the last 4 years. Sadly, Michigan voted for Trump, so there was a huge embarrassment. And my friends and I think millions of people in Michigan we've already got Liberation Day all set. It's November 3rd, 2020. The party starts around 8 p.m. that night.
I hope so.
We'll have a parade. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be a big Liberation Day. No, he tweeted that about liberate Michigan, and I thought, when it was right after he tweeted liberate Minnesota, and I'm like, who wants to liberate Minnesota? Why are they in on this? First of all,
they both have M's. He can't tell the difference.
That's it. Yeah, he was going to say Missouri next, probably, but no. Listen. It's really, it's difficult because in my mind, we've got three viruses that we're dealing with. The obvious one, the coronavirus that we're all trying to survive, but the second virus is the Trump virus that needs to be eradicated nonviolently and legally at the polls. And the third virus is what I call the virus, the pre-Trump virus, the one that we've had for many years, long before Trump. It's not Trump. Trump didn't fall out of the sky. We had a number of things that we hadn't quite fixed yet in this country. And they were causing us, I think, still a lot of pain and despair and whatever. And so if we can get to that third virus, after we get rid of the coronavirus, the COVID-19 that we have right now, and if we can remove Trump from office in November, then I think that a lot of people have been, those who are fortunate enough to be at home, like I have been. When I know some people are watching this and say, "What are you talking about? Fortunate? I'm climbing the walls." But I know if you've got kids, it's been hard. It's hard work. Yeah. But I'm past that point in my life. So, but I think a lot of people have been thinking about, like, how do we want to live after this pandemic? Because
what responsibility do I have for you as my fellow American?
Yes, exactly. Right. It's so right down. It's as simple as we've been asked to stay inside so that we don't harm anyone else. And it's amazing.
That is the part that is really hard to understand. The people who, and I know it's a tiny fraction of the population that is going out there and protesting, but it's so hard to understand that those people don't understand that, of course, you can take a risk with your own life. This is a free country, but it's not your life that you're risking. It's everyone else. It's the hospital workers. It's the elderly. It's everyone that you came in contact with, because you have to act as if that you're carrying the coronavirus.
Right. I'm in New York City. I have an apartment here that I'm here when I'm working here. I live in Michigan. I have an apartment there. And you look out the window here, the streets are empty. I'm really amazed because you would think of New Yorkers of all people to tell them to stay inside. And yet they have. The majority have. So the ones who haven't, I don't understand it, just like you. But I think that people have been willing to sacrifice so that others can live, and especially the healthcare workers. Mayor de Blasio announced today that he wants to have a ticker tape parade for the healthcare workers and the first responders when this is all over. Sure. And my first thought was, let them have the time off that we've kind of had here. The last thing I want, you know how long Broadway is? To make them walk down Broadway after they've been, working 24 hours a day. It's probably the last thing they'd want to do. But boy, whatever we pay them, we don't pay them enough. Whatever time off they need, they get it. We have to, and I don't mean just them too. I'm talking about the people that have stocked the shelves of the grocery stores.
The
I'm
people who
talking
picked up your garbage?
people who picked up the garbage, the bus driver who's taking the healthcare workers to the hospital. The reason we have this electricity today, somebody is at Con Ed working. Somebody is at the water plant so I can turn the tap on in my faucet. All the people who are essentially risking their lives so I can have water, so you and I can talk over this device. We have to remember I think people are I think we're going to be different. I think we're going to be a different people. We're never going to think that anybody should have to work for $7.25 an hour. I think that's gone. I think I saw you with Bernie here a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And you said, not Bernie, you said, when you stop and see all this, the last thing we should ever have a debate about is whether or not everybody should be covered, whether or not everybody has health insurance.
Right, because what we discover is the simple truth that for me to be safe, you have to be safe too.
Right. We're all in this together. That's right. It's the golden rule, isn't it?
Let me ask you about your governor, Governor Whitmer.
Yes.
She's getting a lot of heat from the Republicans right now because they know that she's popular in Michigan.
Yes.
Polls show that her response to the coronavirus is more popular than the president's response. And there's a lot of talk that she might be Joe Biden's pick for vice president. What do we need to know about your governor?
Well, we're very lucky to have her. In the midterm election in 2018, we tried to rectify our embarrassment of voting for Trump in 2016. So in the off-year election, we threw out all the Republicans in the top leadership in Lansing. So they're all Democrats now. We have Whitmer, who is a woman governor. We have a black lieutenant governor. We have a lesbian attorney general. And we have a single mom who's the Secretary of State. That's it. That's our new leadership. And 2 Republican congressmen who represented the white suburbs of Detroit were both tossed out in that election and replaced with Democratic women. So that was a sign of what could happen this year. And she, I think everybody was really happy. And to see her sort of take it on the chin from Trump, to have him hold up sending materials that people in Michigan needed in order to live, to survive, was just the most outrageous thing. And I think, to answer your question about her being a possible running mate for Joe Biden, I can just answer that by saying what she has said and what I know the people in Michigan feel. She can't leave right now. If we've learned anything from the leadership in DC, we need leadership in Michigan and in all the states. The governors are the ones that are probably going to pull us out of this, and she can't go anywhere.
Michael, we have to take a little bit of a break, but please don't go anywhere, anybody. We'll be right back with more Mr. Michael Moore.